Welcome back to the inside of the Ashtoons studio, everyone. As I am starting off this project, it is 1:30 in the afternoon on Thursday, December the 30th, 2021, which is the day before New Year's Eve. So here we go. Some of you that live in the South might remember that throughout the summer, the hottest part of the year, we had a fantastic wild blackberry season, and so all of these containers that you see here are filled with wild blackberries that I picked and then stuffed in my freezer, waiting for a time for me to actually make jelly with them. And yes, I'm going to be making jelly this time, not jam. I've made jams out of mulberries many times, well, a few times on this channel, and it is not that hard. So I wanted to give myself a little more of a challenge this time, but doing the whole process of crushing, simmering, separating the seeds, and making a usable juice that the pectin can be added to, and the whole process of jelly instead of jam. And realistically, blackberries, the hardest part about blackberries, and reason why most people say I don't like blackberries, is because of the seeds. So yeah, I'm gonna try separating out the seeds and making jelly. All right, so first step is going to be letting all of this dethaw, which is going to take a few hours. So I guess I'll see you then. Welcome back. It's been a few hours, and I think they are dethawed enough to start putting them through the strainer and washing them. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. All right, strainer time. I'm just going to use the water bath canner pot without the basket in it, and hopefully that'll simmer it up. Next step is to mash it lightly. I'm not sure exactly what that means, with a potato masher. Oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't put it all in at one time. Well, I'm gonna get it. This might take a little while, but I'll get it. Alright, I think that is about as mashed as it needs to be. According to this, you have to add a little bit of water. Even for all of this, it's only about 1.5 cups. So when I say a little bit, I mean just a little bit. The instructions say simmered on medium heat, so let's tone that flame down. I'm gonna say that's medium heat right there. Oh, I'm gonna need both hands to lift. No, I got it. There we go. Okay. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Let's get this closer to the middle of the table. Okay. Alright, it says let it come to a boil, stir it, and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Alright. Putting the lid on it always seems to make it come to a boil a little bit faster. Come on. Oh, there we go. Alright. I'm actually needing to use a step stool to get to the top of the pot. But I would call that a nice bubbly simmer. Just started doing that. So let's go ahead and set that timer for 10 minutes. Deet, deet, deet. Alright. There's definitely foam on the top. That was something I was supposed to notice. That means this step is done. Alright. Let's turn off the fire and let it cool a little bit. Alright, so now I am supposed to ladle through a cheesecloth, or stir it through a cheesecloth. Don't know how long this is going to take. Probably quite a while. It's starting to come through. Boy, that does look nice down there. It just said several layers of cheesecloth. Not sure exactly what several means, so I put 3 layers there. I'll probably end up changing it out a few times. We're going to have to skip ahead on this too. It is the next morning now, and I stirred it through the cheesecloth once last night, and then put all that was left in the top of this and let it stand overnight. It still seems like there's a lot here just going to waste, but that's according to the instruction. That's what I'm supposed to do. So let's find out how much juice we got. There's 2, 4, and 6. Okay, 6 cups of pure wild blackberry juice. I'm gonna get that. Kind of see it there. Let's get this to a rolling boil. So I've currently got 3 burners going. That one's, oh yeah, just now starting to come to a little bit of a boil. But then outside, I've got the lids, rings and flats simmering right here on this little camping stove, and then this turkey fryer that I bought at the flea market a few months ago for 10 bucks. That's what I've got my water bath on. Now, for some reason, it's got flame instead of a blue flame. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm pretty sure I can just clean this off after it's done. It looks like it's putting plenty of heat out. Whatever, we'll go with it. So even when I stir it, it remains boiling. Not a whole lot of foam to deal with. I think this is the perfect time. Now I have to add 11 cups of sugar. Now that seems like a lot. That's actually more sugar than juice. But according to the instructions, if I try to reduce the sugar, it's not going to set up right. Man, I hate doing this. But yeah, that's what the recipe calls for. 11 cups of sugar. Wow, that really seems excessive. If you don't believe me, there it is right there. You can see it in black and white. 7.5 cups for 4 cups of juice. This is 6 cups. So add another half. It'll be 11.25. I've actually reduced it down just to 11 cups. Okay, so the sugar has dissolved and it's about to the point where it's back up to a boil. So really I should have already done this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm going to add the pectin, and this is just shirt gel pectin. And so for a batch and a half, of course, I'm going to do 1 packet and a half packet, and get that dissolved in there. Again, guys, I have never done this before. I've never made jelly before, so I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing my best. Doing my best to try to get this right. Alright, so it's just half of this. Is that half? Maybe a little more. Okay. Yeah, that feels like half there, so I'm just gonna put this back in here. Okay, let's get this dissolved in there. I think we're about at that point where after this dissolves, it's gonna start setting up pretty quick. The sugar and the pectin in there, and it's back to a rolling boil. I'm afraid it's gonna boil all the way over. I'm supposed to let it go for a minute, but I've had my jams boil over before when they start looking foamy like this, so I'm getting a little nervous. I have to turn it off real fast if it starts to look like it's going to do that, but I think we're almost to a minute now anyway. I think we're going to be okay. Okay, that is a minute. That is a minute. All right, turning it off. Turn it off. It's amazing how after you turn the heat off, it just look at that. It just calms right down, drops right down. All right, time to start getting it into the jars. Hopefully my jars have come to a boil out here. Let's see. Are you boiling, jars? They are. Woo. Okay, jars are ready to go. And lids. Good timing. Good timing. just finger tight. You don't have to crank it down. Just finger tight. Okay, so that's one down. Alright, so that filled up, just like the recipe said, exactly 12 8-ounce jars. Let's get them back into the water bath canner. You gotta get these under some boiling water for about 10 minutes. Well, and it looks like, yeah, that is exactly how much it holds. 12 cans. Now we're gonna let them cool, and hopefully those tops will pop down, suck down, however you say it. Well, it's been a couple of hours, and they have all popped down, except for this one right here. So that was the last one that I filled. So the jar was starting to cool, and I was starting to run out of jelly, so I wasn't able to get that half-inch of air gap that I was supposed to have between the top of the jelly and the lid. So I guess this will just be the one that I start on, the one that I try first. Look at that. Made 1231. I guess you could say that is the last project that I did this year. Is making 12 jars of wild blackberry jelly. Alright. Verdict is fantastic. Alright. Well, guys, if you've enjoyed this, you know what to do. Give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. I'll talk to you down in the comments, and as always, I will see you. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.